Yes, I am that person who will film multiple videos in the same outfit in one day. So, today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about my latest poetry book, An Armory of Love Poems. So last year, in November of 2019, I published my first collection of poetry titled For Wonder in the Wilderness, which was a book that focused a lot on my experience in 2018, 2017, going through like life changes. I just graduated college in 2017, and I had a collection of poems that I'd written between my time in an internship and around the time I had just left college, and those poems ended up kind of being on the same theme of this sense of like brokenness, this sense of loss of romance, if you will. I don't know the term for that, but all of these different phases in life that I felt I experienced in a span of 2 years, and I was like, I want to put this in a book, a collection of poems. So I did, and it is still, it's my first poetry baby, and so it's very interesting to see how it's selling, and I would love for it to sell better, but that's a conversation for an entirely different video. But I am grateful for the support I have received from the people who have read the book and love the book, and I'm just grateful that it exists in the world. So my last poetry book, my latest one, An Armory Love Poems, you can see it here. I wrote this book, so for me, I am a huge person who loves love. I am a lover of love. I used to call myself a hopeful romantic because I didn't like the idea of being a hopeless romantic, because what's the point of being a person who loves romance without hope? So I was like, I'd rather have hope. So I'm a hopeful romantic. And so I would say around July hit, and I was thinking of starting a second book of poetry, but it wasn't really my intention, and I believe the way that quarantine had, it happened, and I now had the time and the space where I feel like if it hadn't happened, this collection of poetry wouldn't exist. And so from the month of July into August, I began to compile a number of love poems that I have written over the years, and a lot that I've written this year, and it became a manuscript, and I began to compile poems into sections, designed a cover, and thus we have An Armory of Love Poems. So my reasoning behind creating a video is to talk about my book, but also talk about the reason behind it. In light of everything that happened between March and now with COVID-19, along with the rest of the world becoming aware of the realities of racism and white supremacy and systemic oppression, I was in this place for some time of just wondering about the state of our world, because not only were those things coming to light, but a lot of people became more knowledgeable about human trafficking and the horrific realities of that. And I just got to this place of kind of lamenting and mourning, in a sense of what do we do with a world that we live in that doesn't sometimes feel hopeful, and it oftentimes feels as if love is lacking a lot in our society. And as I was writing and kind of just meditating and praying and thinking about the state of the world, I began to think on love and how the power of love oftentimes gets overlooked, and how love is something that allows us to be stronger human beings and stronger individuals, as well as stronger communities and groups of people who know how to come together when other people are in need. And so An Armory of Love Poems kind of comes from that space of trying to figure things out and understand, and the idea of this quote that I wrote on my Instagram, and it says, I arm myself with love poems because on most days I feel that it's all it would take to conquer the hours before me. And it came from this place of everything that was happening, and I was like, okay, I need to write something. And I started writing on like this legal pad, and that was the phrase that came out, is I will arm myself with love poems because I feel that's all I have right now is to write. All I have are these words that are in me. And so An Armory of Love Poems was birthed from that quote that I wrote because of, I believe in the power of love, and I believe in the power of using our words and using our creativity to create a better environment for the people that need it, for ourselves, for our communities, for the people who will grow up and have children of their own, and that we wouldn't want this world to look like it's looking now for our children. And it's just this whole, I could go on and on and on about that. But my book comes from that place of wanting to share this idea and this power behind what I believe to be true about love. And so for those of you who are interested, you can purchase this book on my website, penofthebeloved.com/books, or you can purchase on Amazon, and you can also purchase the paperback version there or an ebook version. I would prefer you purchase from the website. That's just me. Also, if you do purchase from the website, I do have a surprise for you. So if you purchase An Armory of Love Poems from my website, not only will you receive a signed copy, but you will receive also these cute little postcards. This is one of 4 designs. So if you purchase my book on my website, you will receive one of these 4 postcards along with a signed copy of my book. And so that's just a little incentive to buy my book from my website. But I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that now you have a little bit of insight into why I published this book, and that it kind of just encourages you and inspires you to love people better. Also, just another thing I forgot to say, that these postcards do feature an original poem from the book. So if you buy the book from my website, you do get this as well as a signed copy. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time I make a video. Thank you for watching.